Hi, I'm Coco Dove, Miss Trans South Carolina 2024. I've made it my mission to go all across South Carolina, interview some amazing trans people, and get their stories for you guys. They're going to tell their stories their way. Today, we're in Columbia, South Carolina, and we're going to meet an amazing individual. So sit down, relax, and enjoy this interview. We're good? We're Gucci? We're rolling. All right. Hello, everybody. We are here today with our amazing guest, the legendary Chanel Stevens. Hello, hello. If you guys don't know Chanel, she is a staple in the South Carolina trans and drag community. And we are here today to get all the tea from Miss Chanel. You ready?
Oh, I don't know. I
We'll
might
see.
need a fireball.
Well,
no, I'm kidding.
We don't have that in the budget. We don't
I'm
have that in the
kidding.
budget. Next time we got you.
Okay.
Well, before we start, I want to break the ice a little bit because, I'm new at interviewing, so she's breaking the ice for me as well. So we're going to do some speed round questions.
Okay.
You feel like that?
Yeah.
Work it. All right. So what we're going to do, I'm going to read out these questions. Just give a short, one-word answer, all that good stuff.
Okay.
All right. What's your favorite color?
Green.
What's your favorite holiday?
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. Okay. What's your favorite food?
Bacon.
Damn right. Damn right. What's your favorite movie?
Oh, gosh. Friday.
Friday? Who's in that one? I don't think I've seen that one. I'm not very cultured with movies.
It's a stoner movie.
Okay, I probably live. Who's your celebrity crush?
Celebrity crush, Ben Affleck.
All right, Ben Affleck. I like J-Lo, so. What skill do you think everybody should have?
Compassion.
Compassion. I do think that's something that we're all lacking,
Yeah.
especially
Me
with
too.
everything that's going on in the Carolinas right now, so that would be fabulous. What's your idea of fun?
Oh, why is this so hard?
I know, right? You put you on the spot like that. I didn't mean to.
What's my idea of fun? Being with friends.
Being with friends, just having a good day. Yeah. I mean, that's all you can ask for, really, nowadays. So, that was to break the ice. Did we break the ice well? How did we do? I'm asking for approval from our audience. Can we have claps, everybody?
Yay!
Clap for us. We'll edit in some sounds of clapping right there. Cheers. All right, so we're going to get into it, all right?
Okay.
This is the What's the Tea.
Okay.
So, the first question I want to ask you is, when did you start your transition?
I started my transition in the 90s. And then I took a break. I had started and my family is what kept me from transitioning, which was one of the stupidest things I've ever done.
Yeah. How can you tell me about the relationship with your family? Did y'all overcome that?
No.
No. Did you start your transition in South Carolina?
Yes.
Okay. You're not originally from South Carolina, you're from Hickory,
North-
right?
Hickory, North Carolina.
Tell us about growing up in Hickory, knowing you were the way you are.
Growing up in Hickory, this was, I was born in, I'm a boomer. So, it's back when you couldn't be gay. Nobody could be gay, and I knew from a very young age that. When I was really young, I was like, why wasn't I a girl? Why wasn't I a girl? And then you just kind of go with the flow and decide, well, okay, I'm a gay guy.
Yeah.
And then live your life like that for a while. But after I started doing drag, it just opened my eyes, and I know I'm more comfortable presenting as a female.
think a lot of us start out that way. You know, drag is a good segue into it when
Yeah.
you know you're supposed to be this way.
Right.
You can always tell when a drag performer is one of the girls too.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
we can smell it on them.
Right, right, and there's some now that you know they haven't transitioned yet. I know that there's still.
You feel it coming.
Yeah, they're women.
You just wait and watch.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, however it takes. I mean, you know, that's we shouldn't be judged by how trans we present.
Yeah.
I mean,
Everybody's transition is
Right.
different. Everybody's
Right.
life and everybody's journey is going to be different. So
Right.
the processes they take, as long as they're doing it safely, you know.
right.
Which is why I'm glad I had you in my life when I started my transition, you guys.
I started, you know, I don't want to drop names, but you know, Chablis helped me a lot, and then we would get black market hormones from girls who would come through Savannah and sell vials, and you know, taking somebody's Premarin that they had what we were lucky enough to maybe scavenge off of.
Did y'all feel like it was a necessity back then to do it black market?
But
Right,
it,
so
it
doctors.
actually was. You know, when I first started transitioning, there was not a doctor in Columbia that would really touch us. You know, I had to go to Charleston to my first trans medical history started in Charleston.
Can you tell us how it was for you beginning your transition in South Carolina and the process?
Yeah, I'm lucky. You know, I worked in the club, so I wasn't really out that much in the daytime. So, you know when you work in the club, and you know, back then, after the club closed, another club was open until 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So we slept all afternoon, and then so it was it wasn't that hard. I lived with a law enforcement officer, so that helped keep away, I think, a lot of stuff that maybe would have came my way had he not had there not been a cop.
Had that bodyguard per se,
yeah.
Okay. And I found out a little tidbit about you. I don't know how true it is, but I heard it through the grapevine. I heard you were the first drag queen to ever be allowed at Capitol Club.
I was.
For those of you watching that don't know, Capitol Club is a staple queer bar in the Carolinas. They have lots of drag shows. They've been here for a long time. And I found out you were the first one ever allowed. Can you tell us that story?
They Les Miller decided, you know, they were known as you know, they called it the Wrinkle Room because it was a bunch of the older gays. I mean, I'm not being ugly. I'm just being truthful. But they called it the Wrinkle Room, and they were very particular about everything. You know, you couldn't come in with a tank top or anything like that. They didn't want you to wear tennis shoes or
it was a club.
They had a lot of rules, and they decided that they were going to let me in because I presented as female. Okay. And that's what they said. Oh, she's trans, so she can come in here.
Did that help progress them doing drag shows, you think?
I don't know. No, not at all. You know, they still would do camp drag stuff there, but they wouldn't allow us in there, which was crazy because, you know, Bill Skipper would get in drag in like the 70s and go in there, and, you know, the bartender at Halloween, they would all be in drag and stuff. But, you know, Affairs was open at that same time, and that's where most everybody hung out. You know, it was the affluent crowd at Capitol Club for years. And me and Les had Les, the original owner, he's been gone for years. But we had a fiery relationship.
Fiery relationship?
Yes.
Are you comfortable talking about that?
Well, I will. This is one thing. Every time I saw him out, I would look at him and say, "There's that old ass." And he would sit there at the bar and say, "Old ass." And so that's just how I greeted him every single time. There's that old ass. And it was just, you know, it wasn't hateful. It was
no. That's just how we love each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you think? Not just the drag scene, but the trans scene in general has changed in the Carolinas from when you started back in the early 90s?
oh my God, it's so much. It's, you know, the being accepted, and yeah, I never really felt like I was not accepted while I was transitioning, but I saw other girls have a harder time than I did. I mean,
Why do you think they had a harder time?
you know, their size, their masculinity, and you know, they weren't feminine, people are so judgy and so mean.
Yeah, I know back then it was really big on if you passed or not, which was a big thing. Yeah,
that was a thing, and that trannier than thou is what I used to say about those. You know, the ones that just say, "You're not a woman. You look like a dude." It's like, ugh. I'm glad to see that everybody's being accepted now, though. It's more mainstream. I don't want to say mainstream. It's more. It's just more accepted. People are more open to the thought of it. You know, back they thought it was a fetish thing.
Starting your transition, what do you think is your highest high and your lowest low? If you're comfortable talking about that.
My lowest low is absolutely going to be the silicone, when the silicone started doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I had a car wreck in Baltimore coming back from New York City, and the airbags crushed all my, and from that point, it's just that stuff just turned purple and black, and I've had I had a double mastectomy and had the skin grafted from my back and put in the front, and all that stretched with the tissue expanders, and then they would go back, they would take some more skin out and do it again. You know, I've had probably 8 surgeries, so definitely my low would be the silicone, and the result. You know, it was fine for 15 years or so, but
you just never know when that stuff's going to travel and do its thing.
Yeah.
When I started my transition, you were definitely somebody I looked up to regarding safe transitioning. You were very adamant about that. You told me, do not get silicone, do not get silicone. Make sure you speak to doctors. And that has always rung true in my head, and I've been preaching the same thing to everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, and you started young, and I think, I think probably if you, I just assumed that that I was already very feminine. You know, I don't have really an Adam's apple. My hands aren't huge. You know, my skin, once I started taking hormones, any hair that I had anywhere pretty much went away.
It made it soft.
Yeah.
Porcelain skin.
Yeah.
What was your highest high?
My highest high was probably traveling with Chablis. Would probably be my highest high, and meeting all the, you know, Tommy Ross and getting to work with Lady Bunny and
the legend.
And yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about Lady Chablis and y'all's relationship? I know y'all were pretty close, right?
Yeah, we were. We were pretty tight. She I don't. Oh Lord, that's a long story there. We started out, you know, I've always made my own clothes and my drag, and so she would borrow my clothes at first, and you know, she would borrow things without asking. Quite a few times.
I recognize that.
Right? Right? And then she claimed I gave it to her. I'm like, no, Misty. But that's how we got started. Sable Chanel was the goddess back then that traveled everywhere, and she had sent something to Sable, and that she had no business sending. To have Sable to do something extra to it, and, you know, it wasn't even hers. And so that's one thing that I really remember in the very first. But she followed me around, and she would just praise me when I was on stage, and then we got a little closer. She you know, she had her addictions, which were really bad, and I stood by her with all that. And yeah,
Didn't mean to get you emotional at all.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
I miss her so much.
I hear everybody say that. I wish I was lucky enough to get to meet her because I always hear Carla talk about how great she was and Tiffany and all of them.
Yeah.
How did you feel when the book came out and then the movie came out?
When she had her book signing and all that big release and everything, it was a big thing at the bar, and they had me as special entertainment. And she, I remember she was so hot.
She's still a legend, and everybody
Yeah.
everybody knows her name, which I love.
Yeah,
They even
and I mean,
had her on Drag Race.
Right.
Not her, but somebody impersonating her on Drag Race. So
yeah.
they're still talking about her, so that's fabulous. And you had your own little part in that too, so that's cool to know.
I did. I was in the movie Voices of Nature right after her, and I guess that's what made us realize that we
Okay.
were probably compatible traveling.
I didn't know you were in this movie. What is this movie?
It was filmed in South Carolina.
Okay.
It was Ben Affleck, and he
see?
bummed cigarettes from me the whole time. And Sandra Bullock, and I was in the makeup trailer with Sandra Bullock. She had this cassette tape that she was playing on it. She had made the tape herself. She said, "Oh, it's a slam mix. It's awful." And I was like, "Bitch, I do all of these songs that you have on here." But she was very, very cool.
I'm gonna go back and watch that.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with Sandra Bullock too, so this just got me all hyped. I'm excited to go back and
Yeah.
try to pick you out of the movie.
Oh, you can see me.
I'm very excited to go back and watch that now.
Now, if you blink your eyes, you're gonna miss it. No.
All right.
But they had a makeup trailer that said Cher on the outside of it. I had my own makeup trailer. It was hot as damn it in Savannah.
Did they have you dressed as Cher?
Yeah, yeah.
So tell us about you being the premier Cher impersonator of the Carolinas, because I know that's how I knew you. From the beginning.
I think I was on my game back in my day, but you lose that. I mean, I'm fat now, and I think I got too used to it. It got tiresome.
You get
for
bored of
me.
the character?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. People always try to get me to do Taylor, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do Taylor anymore.
Right.
Cher's much cooler than Taylor, I think. So.
I didn't want to do Cher at all at first.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to be Anita Baker.
you could be Anita Baker. So I know in the 80s and 90s you were big about fighting for the rights of LGBT people. Can you tell us about that journey?
I've always tried to insert myself when it came time to make money, and I was pretty darn good at it for a while. That's and for AIDS specifically for AIDS and the HIV, that was, thank God the kids today don't have to live through what we lived through. With Ronald Reagan and the being in North Carolina, Jesse Helms, and it was ugly. It was ugly. I did my part though, and being a performer that worked every week. People look to you to make them happy, to make them feel better, to make them happy, and to be fun in the bars, and evidently bars still, no matter how drunk I got, they still said, "Come on, Chanel."
I think being a performer, it doesn't force us into being a voice, but it allows us to use that platform more to reach people.
Right.
And I think it's great that you did that, because especially in the 80s and 90s when you hear about the HIV crisis and stuff like that, every time we hear stories about it, it's almost always in New York City and San Diego, California, all that good stuff.
It was so bad here.
How was it here? Yeah.
So bad. We lost so many people, and it was we lost so many, like bartenders and people. I mean, just people that everyone knew. That was and they were just falling. They were just one after another, and they would get so sickly to where they didn't go out, and then people just kind of forgot about them and didn't go see them. And I had a really good friend that died, but before he died, I couldn't go back to see him. I had been there a few times to see him, and he was so bad off that I would just sit in my car and cry before I left, and for hours. It was too hurtful. And then so he didn't see me before he died, and I think he hated me for that. And so now that I'm older, all my people are dying because they're old. They're expired.
The way it was meant to be.
Right. But so we got two doses of it. It's older.
Yeah, I couldn't even imagine. The gay bars were our safe spaces. That's all we had, especially back then. So going to the family reunion per se, and then just seeing people not show up would.
Yeah.
I'm glad we don't have to live through that now, but thanks to the voices like you for helping us get resources that we need.
And the good doctors and all that. Yeah. Dr. Fauci. He helped us advance HIV medicine a lot.
Good.
I mean, he doesn't get credit for that. But.
So I know to chill you out in your spare time, you're a painter. Have you always been a painter, or is that something you recently started doing?
I have always been into art. I've always, I have and the reason I said Valentine's Day was my favorite holiday is because I'm a floral designer. That's what I went to design school in Denver, Colorado to become a floral designer. That's art also. That's but in high school, I was known as the pansy. Is what they called it. They said pansy.
Yes.
I thought it was just. But so the only class that I really liked was my art class. I loved my art teacher. My art teacher kind of knew what the deal was with me, and she saw that I was talented. So.
I love that you've kind of branded the middle finger. Artworks too. I want to give me one of those.
I stopped doing it because I got so much negative out of it. That's but then I noticed now that you can even buy little statues. That's the middle finger and stuff. I mean, it's not Yeah, my doctor that does all my work. He says, "Let me see what you painted." He's like, get on my phone, and he was like, "Those things are so cool." I sold the hell out of them. I sold a bunch of those things.
I know. I saw you put them on Facebook. They were going out and out and out.
Yeah.
Do you think your painting and all of your artwork, your floral designs, is a way to escape, or is it?
Yeah. It really is. It's therapy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We all need therapy.
Right. Oh, yeah.
What does it mean to you to be trans in South Carolina?
I feel like, what does it mean to me? I feel like I'm lazy now, and I don't go and promote myself and network for trans. I should do that more. Because I haven't really much lately, and get back into support groups and that sort of thing.
Well, just sharing your story and speaking, I think is gonna inspire a lot of people and get them talking, which is what we want: more stories, more voices.
Right.
Especially with them banning the books and trying to silence us.
Right.
Just going out and living is a form of protest.
Right. Yeah. That's what. I don't know. I mean, number one, and you said it, I think, the other day. Other people's opinions of me is none of my business. But you still wonder sometimes.
Yeah, you're curious. The curious.
Well, are they clocking me so bad? I mean, and it doesn't matter if I don't care how bad I get clocked. It's just don't look at me with disdain.
We hit back.
Bitch, you don't want it.
Do you still consider yourself a Carolina girl? Country through and through?
Yes.
What does it mean to be a Carolina girl?
I make good gravy.
There you go.
I make homemade biscuits.
That's what we want to hear.
I'm a decent cook. I think that's one thing that will keep you a man.
Kept him a wife. Our camera guy is my husband. He's the cook because I don't know how to do it.
That's okay too, girl. But one of you got, and he's fine with doing it, I think. So.
Oh yeah, he throws down.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
Favorite thing to cook, probably country fried steak.
I haven't had that in so long.
I think I'm having meatloaf Sunday. I haven't done meatloaf in forever.
What's one message you could let all of the viewers know who are watching?
Message.
You could say anything. It's something you want them to know, whether it be something about you, something about the future, something about advocacy, anything you want them to know.
My hope is, I just want people to be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't know somebody nice, be somebody nice. I mean,
I love that. I'm stealing that. If you don't know somebody nice, be somebody nice. I love that.
I mean, that's, yeah.
Do you have a message for trans youth that might be watching this?
Keep on doing it, honey. Just keep on keeping on. You know, you're gonna have haters. You're gonna have haters, but there's always gonna be us. So we're everywhere. You know, trans, non-binary, two-spirit, whatever you feel.
Just be you.
Right. If you want to be a cat, be a cat. I mean, there's not going to be any kitty boxes at schools, though. I don't
you better work. That was a lie.
Crazy as shit.
I know.
Those conservatives, child.
Speaking of those conservatives, do you have a message for those legislators out there writing these bills about us?
It's just, my God, find a real problem. I mean, it's just, come on. And this, this thing about trying to control parents that are trying to help their children just navigate life, and then them putting a stop to it, it's just outrageous. It's just,
yeah,
it infuriates me.
Oh, me too. I can feel the heat radiating off of you right now.
Yeah, it does. But I think I'm a believer in karma. I think you get what you give, and eventually it's all gonna backfire on them, I think.
Yeah.
How
do you think we can counteract that negativity?
Fight them bitches. No, I'm kidding. Switchblade. No. No. How can we fight? I just say being vocal and not being scared. Being seen. And not being afraid and not caring what said. Other people's opinions are not my business.
Mm-hmm. Just having the will to get ready and walk out of the house is
right. Oh, that's
a lot. Even for non-trans people, just
right.
Like raw.
Oh, I go to the grocery store any old kind of way anymore.
Oh, me too, bro. Sweatpants all day.
Yeah.
Crop top sweatpants, bandana, do-rag. I don't care.
No combing my hair.
No,
nothing.
never.
Bitch, that been in that ponytail for 2 days.
All right, so I think this is the end of the interview. Would you like to leave us on a positive note? A sign-off message for the viewers?
Be yourself. And be a diva about it.
Be a diva. Clock the nail.
Yeah, it's just
the mud.
Live authentically and bold. Make bold choices.
I love it.
Boom.
Thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you for allowing me to ask you these questions.
Thank you,
and thank you for
me.
letting me hear some of your story.
Oh.
I appreciate you so much.
I love you.
I love you, baby. We're signing off, you guys. Stay tuned for the next
Bye.
episode.